They're just up one game. And if they lose tonight, guess what? You're going back to Golden State tied 2-2. And we know Golden State can get hot. They can put up a bunch of points, especially with the three ball. You got arguably the two greatest. Well, we know we got the greatest shooter. You can make a case for Klay Thompson that he's the second greatest shooter of all time. And so you have two of those guys. And the first two games, they banged out 43 total. If I'm not mistaken, 42 total.
Yeah, 21 and 21.
Okay. That's the most in NBA history of the first two playoff games. And so we know they're more than capable of doing something of that nature. We know they can go 25, almost 33 pointers in the game. Those two guys get hot. So, no, they haven't seized control of this series. But what it shows us is that when they play that small lineup, if Anthony Davis does what he's supposed to do, Skip, he makes it very, very difficult on the Golden State Warriors to stay attached to him because there is no answer for him. JaMychal Green is too small. Draymond is too small, and he got Draymond in foul trouble. So now your backbone of your defense is on the sideline seething. Got to take on his way out of the game also, Skip. And now you bring Kevon Looney in. And Kevon Looney, yeah, he can grab some rebounds, Skip, but he's not much of a rim protector, and he's not much of an offensive threat. Yeah, he'll grab a couple of rebounds, get some putbacks. Yeah, they'll do a great do the pick and roll, and then he'll roll to the basket. But Anthony Davis is the one guy that has a decided mismatch on the court. And he used that to his advantage. We saw what he did in game one. Game two, I was like, I don't know. I didn't know who that AD was. And then game three, he reverted back to what he was in game one. Now, Skip, I'm not saying the guy's going to, go give me 30 and 23 on a nightly basis. But I need the effort that he brought in games 1 and 3. I need that on a nightly basis. And I'll take whatever outcome comes along with that effort, I can live with. LeBron. I'm like, bro, what's really going on? Not a shot. Did he even look at the basket, Skip, in the first quarter? He didn't. But that just goes to show you.
Well, that was the first time in 275 playoff games that he's played that he did not take a shot in the first quarter.
Well, we're trying to find out had it ever happened in any game. But when he got so many games, Skip, it's hard to go back and comb through over 1,000 games to see.
But 275 is a lot of playoff games.
It is a lot of playoff games, Skip. He was trying to dissect. Look, this is what he knows. Let's get AD going. Let's get D'Lo going. D'Lo got going, Skip, scored the first 11 points. Now we got D'Lo for the rest of the game. Okay, AD, now you get going. We got AD going for the rest of the game. And LeBron did his damage in the second and third quarter. Just goes to show you that he can impact the ball game without scoring. Now he can rebound the ball. He can assist the ball. He's still playing outstanding defense, gets a layup on one end, comes back on the other end, blocks Jordan Poole with the left hand, gets the ball going again. And so, no, Skip, all that being said, the Lakers played really good. Give them credit. They minimized the Golden State Warriors, Skip, 21-21 and three-pointers the first two games, 14 of 44. They shot better from the three than the Golden State Warriors did.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I like where the Lakers are, but they can't relax, Skip. And what we've seen, Skip, they don't really do the greatest job of handling prosperity. But I think tonight they understand what's at stake, and they can seize control of this series if they go out there and take care of business tonight. I love it. Man, Lonnie Walker, Skip. I mean, think about it, Skip. I mean, how many DMPs did we see? We come out here, we look at a thing, DMP.
I thought he was permanently doghoused.
And he'll come in, he come in and get mop-up duty. Skip, he played big on Saturday.
Big.
He played big on the defensive end, on the offensive end. Schroeder was Schroeder. But I love where the Lakers are. But, Skip, I'm not willing to go say they've seized control of this series.
Okay. I am. I'm going to say it one more time, Mr. Sharpe. Your Lakers are just better than Golden State, which has been flawed all season very long. I still say that I've amended to Lakers in 5, and I believe they're going to win the next 2 games, including and starting with tonight's, because they're better, they're tougher, they're deeper, they're more physical. They have no answer for Anthony Davis unless Anthony Davis no-shows.
Yes.
He has to no-show. If he no-shows, you got me. But I don't think, even though his pattern has been yes, no, yes, no, yes,
1,
no.
3, 5.
Okay, I got it. Even though that's his pattern, I think they all smelled blood the other night. And they said, okay, we got him on the ropes. We got him on the run. Anthony needs to come out with his button pushed. Whatever that deep psychological button that LeBron can push, maybe only LeBron, you got to push it tonight because we can't have Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Mr. Hyde is a monster,
right.
And Mr. Hyde showed up on Saturday night, and I believe he'll be back in the building tonight.
I sure hope so.
And if he is, they got no prayer because they are just too small.
They are.
They live and they die by the three. And if you tell me they're going to make 20 plus, you got a shot.
They'll be in the ball game.
All right. But to your point, they got outshot from 3, 15-13. Now I get to the crux and guts of what happened Saturday night. There was a turnaround in this basketball game, the likes of which in all my years of studying the NBA, I've never seen before, because under the circumstance, it was the single most bizarre flip on its head game that I've ever seen. Because I'm going to go back through this, but let me get this right. 7:53 left. In the second quarter, Moses Moody made a three-point shot. It put them up 40-29, and I thought you guys were in some trouble. You're down 11. The reason you're in some trouble is what you just mentioned. LeBron has gone weird LeBron. I don't know what he's doing. I'm like, what is up? Because the one thing they can do better than Golden State is just attack the rim, because you just said it. They don't have a rim protector. Draymond tries his tail off, but he's 6 feet, 6 or 7? I don't know, maybe 6'6".
6'6".
There's only so much he can do protecting the rim. He's going to get in foul trouble. He's going to get in technical foul trouble. Things are going to spin out of control if it's him or bust at the rim. So for LeBron, I'm like, just do something, drive the basketball, try to get to the free throw line, which they annihilate this team at the free throw line.
Yeah, because one team drives to get to attack the rim, the other team drive to kick for the three.
That's all they do. I got it. So I'm thinking, my God, what has happened to LeBron James? I don't know. Nothing had happened. And so given that he had done literally nothing up to this point, I'm thinking, are you guys in trouble? No, Golden State's in trouble, because from that moment forward to the end of the half, they got outscored 30-8. It just went completely, impossibly crazy that they self-destructed. They went 3 of 15 from the floor. They went 1 of 6 from 3. And if you can believe this, they committed down the stretch, just in the second quarter, for the last, say, 8 minutes of the second quarter, they committed 6 turnovers and had 3 technical fouls, 1 on Draymond, 1 on JaMychal Green, and 1 for a defensive 3 seconds.
Right.
So that's 3 techs, and they all came bang, bang, bang right at the end of the half. It's complete and utter self-destruction. I think it was the end of Golden State as we knew and loved them, because they did fall behind 2-1. I think you will proverbially step on their throats tonight.
I'm hoping.
So that's what it looked like from the Golden State perspective. Meanwhile, LeBron finally broke through and scored his first basket at 5:22 of the second quarter. Then he starts to just pump and go, man. And they start to run with it. They start to bang the boards. And let me just give you the free throw discrepancy that has mounted slowly but surely in this series. Now, through 3 games, your team is 63 of 83 from the free throw line. That's 83 times you've gone to the free throw line. They're 27 of 39.
Right.
27 of 39. So you're plus 44 in attempts. That's extraordinary.
Yeah, but Skip, look at the discrepancy at the three-point line.
Okay.
They're probably plus 44 in attempts.
I got it. But you made 36 more free throws.
Yes.
And that will work.
Yeah.
That's how you start to build up the advantage, even despite their 21 threes.
Well, see, that's how you try to offset some of those three-point shots that they made. Because remember the first game, Skip, they made 21 threes. The Lakers made 6.
Yeah.
But the vast discrepancy in the free throw line,
It was.
I think the Lakers was like plus 20 something from the free throw line.
Okay.
So you have to counterbalance that, Skip. You can't let them have the three-point advantage and the free throw line advantage. You're not going to beat a team if you lose the three-point advantage and the free throw line. You can't make enough twos to offset that.
That is true. I'm going to say it again. Everything flipped for your team at the trade deadline because you acquired all the right pieces.
Yes.
Lonnie Walker was already there, but he was a nice piece that just needed to find a place in this rotation. And you quietly turned into, at the trade deadline, the best defensive team in all of professional basketball. And it manifested itself the other night because a lot of what you just saw, a lot of the chaos and self-destruction was caused by your defense. And Clay used a word after the game, which I don't love because I do consider it a slur, but he said they got, I'll say what he said, punked, okay?
But how,
All right?
Skip?
Okay, because the Lakers are so much more physical than Golden State is, that it was defensive, just turning up the heat where they're taking the ball away. Golden State looked overmatched.
Yeah.
their offense versus your defense. It got out physical, it got out willed, it got out toughed on the defensive end. And I think you got to credit the Lakers defense for the chaos that I just showed you.
You do, Skip, but I mean, if you think about it, Golden State committed 19 turnovers.
Yep.
They shot 40% from the floor.
Yep.
But if you look at Golden State, if you go back and just analyze them, Skip, they shoot the fewest amount of free throws, but they commit the most amount of fouls.
They do.
So I'm just trying to figure it out, Skip. If the regular season, you shoot the fewest amount of free throws, you commit the most amount of fouls. So you would think come playoff time, the discrepancy is going to be what it's been. Especially a team like the Lakers that have the decided size advantage, and they have a guy that's willing to play down on the block and use that size.
Okay.
So you can't say, well, we've jacked up 115 threes. You only jacked up 75. Why are you going to the free throw line more than we are? Because they're driving the ball to attack the rim. You're driving the ball to kick the Steph, kick the Clay, kick the Jordan Poole.
I got you.
So that's why. But they missed some shots Saturday that they made Thursday. Mm-hmm. And if the adage is what Doc Rivers says, it's a make or miss league, they could easily. Some of the shots that AD made on Saturday, he missed on Thursday.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now to your new X factor, to the antidote that you have for their three-point shooting. You got a sniper yourself.
Yeah, D'Lo.
And he's called D'Lo, as in D'Angelo Russell, once upon a time drafted by the Los Angeles Lakers. Then he bounced.
He'll be the number 2 pick in the draft. Did people forget that?
I got it. But he bounced and did a few minutes at Golden State, and then he wound up at Minnesota as well.
He was in Brooklyn.
And Brooklyn. But he bounced.
Yeah.
He bounced and he bounced. And I read some quotes after the game where he said, "I'm a killer, man. I'm a bird that needs to fly, and I couldn't really fly in Minnesota." Yeah. He's saying that somehow they kept him under wraps. Well, they wouldn't let him do what he does.
Skip, they got Ant-Man, who they're going to looks like they're going to build a team around.
Yep.
They got Cat. Mm-hmm. You can't, Skip, on a team you can only have one big dog now. You can have a bunch of dogs, but they got to be one top dog. Now, who is it? I think he's going to lose that battle out to Cat and Ant-Man.
Okay. So what do we see on Saturday evening? Your guy. Your point guard, I think he's turned into your new point guard. Well, he's also your point shooting guard because he made 5 threes, 5 out of 7 threes. Okay? Is that right? I got
5 out of 8.
5 out of 8. I'm looking at the wrong guy. Okay, yeah, I'm looking at the free throws. 5 out of 8 threes that he made. Then I look at this, and this shocked me like nothing I've seen statistically for quite a while. I always look at usage rate because LeBron usually does and should have the basketball in his hands because he's still the best passer in basketball. He's an orchestrator. He's a quarterback. He can do for this team what Chris Paul at the moment cannot do for the Suns because he's out. And we'll talk about that in just a few minutes here. Shannon Sharpe, on Saturday evening, I'm looking at usage rate. D'Angelo Russell had the ball the most in his hands at 27%. Anthony Davis was second on the team at 25%. Dennis Schroeder was next on the team with also 25%. Would you believe that Jared Vanderbilt had the ball in his hands 22% of the time? I can't even explain that one. Followed by LeBron at 21%. I know it's fairly close, but still, D'Lo is 27% to LeBron's 21%. That was a shocking contrast of a departure to me, where all of a sudden, LeBron's saying, well, I don't need to have the ball in my hands. I still think he should, but they won a game by 30 points with him having this. I don't know. They don't keep these kind of stats. This is like 4th level. But help me out. Has he ever had the ball only 21% of the time in a playoff game?
Probably not.
Probably not.
I think what we're seeing, Skip, is that LeBron knows I can exert the energy that I once could for the entirety of the game at 38 years of age. I've got to pace myself.
Okay.
I've got to pick and choose my spots to turn it up, to pull it back. And he says, if I can get through the first quarter with taking none or minimal shots, and we're still attached, I feel really good about where I am.
Okay. So, in the end, if you tell me that Clay's going to make 8 threes tonight, or that Steph's going to make 8 threes, you got me.
Or they're going to make 20-plus threes.
20 plus. I just don't see it because you're guarding them harder and harder at the three-point line. It's not that you can run them off the three-point line because they're just going to shoot them anyway.
Right.
You just contest them.
Yes.
You make it difficult. You make them second guess because hands are flying in their face and at their hands. And I just love the way you are contesting three-point shots.
And Skip, the defense, if you look at Skip, remember game 2? They scored 43 and 41 in the second and third quarter. Saturday, they gave up 18 and they gave up 20.
Okay.
So they gave up fewer points in 2 quarters than they gave up in any of the second and third quarters in game 2. This is how you win, because this is what we know about the Warriors, Skip.
Yep.
They got runs in them.
They do.
And it's normally the third quarter when they come out there with the sledgehammer and bash you over your head with it and run away with the game.
Yep.
That's what they did in game 2, Skip. They started going in the second quarter, and then when they got to the third quarter, they stepped on the gas, and the Lakers only saw tail lights.
Okay.
So Darvin Ham is preaching, guys, we got to stay close, or we got to have a lead, because now they look up come fourth quarter, Skip, they look up like, uh-oh.
Yep.
Uh-oh. They right there. Or they got a lead.
Yep.
And now Anthony Davis becomes more important, because, Skip, look, it's just it's nature. You get down 15 points, you try to get it all back, you start launching threes, and you miss, they come down, make, you miss again, you come down and make, and what was a 15-point lead, all of a sudden a 21-point lead, and for all intents and purposes, the game is over.
Okay. What do I see as your one potential flaw? I just still don't love LeBron shooting threes, even though he made 2 out of 4 the other night.
You saw that, right?
Boy, that was heating up.
We cut it down. We figured less is more.
For the playoffs, you are now 14 of 61 from 3, LeBron James. 14 of 61, that's 23%. That will not work.
Hold on, let me ask you a question. Haven't we already won a series? So I'm going to deal with this one. All I know is in game 3, he was 2 of 4. That's 50%. Could I interest you at 50%?
He is, for these 3 games against Golden State, 6 of 20, which is 30%, which still won't work. Okay? I'll give you 2 of 4. I just don't want to see him go 1 for 9. What
about the 7-8 for the free throw line? We're attacking the rim.
Yes, I love that.
The man only took 11 shots.
Yeah. By the way, you have missed a lot of free throws. You're 63 of 83, so that's 76%.
Oh,
that's kind of like LeBron's career
average. Skip, that's kind of what the Lakers are. I mean, they missed 9 on Saturday. And the main culprit was the guy that you said you want the ball in his hand late the ball game to go make the free throws with Schroeder. Yeah. He went 1 of 4.
I'd still trust him. With game on the line, Schroeder will make free throws.
Austin was 5 of 7. We all right. We good.
Okay.
We just need to play with that effort.
Okay. You're a 3.5-point favorite tonight, I believe. I think that's what I heard. Yep, 3.5-point favorite. I say you win by double digits. You win by 10.
That small lineup.
You can. You're highly capable, but you need to punish it from the start. You can't mess around and let them hang in there.
Yeah. Don't go and get them any confidence.
Yes, I agree.
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Subscribe here to get the very latest from Skip and Shannon. Plus, go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.